Hey, how have you been, guys? I'm Paradoxic, and welcome back to Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. This time we're on Season 1, Episode 4, titled I Spy, and in the last one, in the asset, we met up with Dr. Hall and not so much Dr. Ian Quinn, who used to be co-workers, but then kind of got drifted apart in their own ways, but they both worked on a very, very rare element known as gravitonium that made its reappearance after Hall leaked some info in order to come under the captivity of Quinn. And both of them had very different approaches to gravitonium. Dr. Hall being like a scientist and one to actually, understand the implications of it, figured it was better off in no person's hands at all, whereas Quinn, with his kind of more businessy approach and his, financial approach to it, thought, you know what, let's just advertise this and see, tell people about all the good uses of it, but, let's just hope the bad implications of it actually never actually come into play and they never figure it out. So that was his kind of take on it, and they kind of drifted apart over the years because of that, until the last episode where Hall had leaked the info about the gravitonium, and then Quinn sent a private militia after him and kept him captive in Malta to try and work on it, and they actually managed to build a bigger model of the gravitonium deflector or whatever it was called. So that was the focus of that one, and then the team rescuing Dr. Hall and actually finding out a way to shut down the gravitonium, but gravitonium, yes. Rare element, very destructive, sent to the fridge, with Hall inside it because Coulson shot out the glass window, because they actually had to glass window. What other kind of window is there? They had they had to put a catalyst in it to actually to fully shut it down, and to stop it from distorting the gravity field any more than it already was. So he shot out the glass, and then Dr. Hall fell in, and he's still alive, I think, because they showed him in the fridge actually whilst the gravitonium was being stored off the records and everything, and his hand kind of slowly made its way out. So he's still alive in the fridge, but the fridge is where stuff necessary, I think, for the slingshot goes, but stuff that they don't want it fully destroyed, but just away from any human hands possible. But I think the slingshot might be where it gets destroyed. That's what I'm thinking. If I'm wrong about that, please do correct me, but I'm thinking the slingshot is where it goes to, and then the fridge is, as in the name, it literally goes there to get stored away from human use. What else we get? We got a bit of Ward and Skye's history together. Ward grew up with an abusive older brother who picked on him and his younger brother. So he grew up with that need and that kind of understanding that he had to protect the people around him, he had to protect himself, and so he grew up with a very kind of a much more toughened and harder kind of demeanor, and one that's a lot more straightforward and follows orders and gets the job done. And that conflicts with Skye's kind of more carefree and relaxed and kind of improvisational methods, and her and that kind of work ethic that she follows. But from the start, they've kind of had their own differences that they've had to set aside, and they've done the setting aside every episode very, very well, I think. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that kind of develops and how they come to understand each other a bit more over time, and how they actually come to work as functioning agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and whatnot. What else? So Skye, she grew up in foster care. So she was sent back and forth from the foster home to different families, and someone actually pointed this out to me, thank you for doing so, that St. Agnes, I thought St. Agnes was the name of the nun who ran the foster home or something, no, but St. Agnes was actually the name of the home. I think, I don't know if there were still nuns in charge of the place, or if it was just people working in care, but she was sent to, I think, a few different families, and each of them had actually sent her back. But the most, I think that the last one was about 9 months. I think they were I think that they kept her in for 9 months, and then she got so used to it and so used to the idea of them being her family that she actually slipped up and called the mother mum for the first time, and then they actually sent her back saying that she wasn't a good fit. So that's really sad. Like the fact that the one time she actually manages to feel comfortable enough to refer to them as her family, she gets sent back almost immediately under the guise of not being fit enough, or maybe they just thought that they weren't ready, or maybe it was too close for them. But I don't know. That's just really, really sad to think about, the fact that she's actually been sent back for thinking of them as family. I mean, potentially among other reasons that they had that they didn't really discuss with her. But yeah, so that was her one. So she grew up in care. I don't know if she lost her parents from birth, or what happened, or if she ran away from home, or I mean, that stuff, like, I don't remember that stuff having been mentioned. I think it could have been mentioned in the pilot or something, but I don't specifically remember it. But yeah, well, I guess we'll see if that is soon to be brought up. But yeah, so St. Agnes was her place, and now she is with the agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. She's with S.H.I.E.L.D. in general. But she didn't actually tell Quinn about S.H.I.E.L.D. a little bit. I mean, I think he already knew. He already knew it was a government organization and whatnot, but she did tell him about having been picked up by S.H.I.E.L.D. and working with them, and what their plan was with him and all of that stuff. Giving Coulson and Ward enough time to infiltrate his mansion in Malta. But I do think that as of so far, she does have some trust issues with S.H.I.E.L.D., and she doesn't really fit in with this group yet. She knows that there's a lot of distrust coming, especially from Ward, and the voted confidence from Coulson just might not be enough for her. She needs more time, and she did accept the job offer, the position offer from Quinn earlier on in the episode, and she told the Rising Tide that she's in for whatever they've got planned, so that could be coming in too. But yeah, I think right now it's just like a case of distrust on her end, that she doesn't really know like how she feels about S.H.I.E.L.D. She doesn't really know if this is the place for her. She hasn't been through enough with them. But she's been through a lot of crazy stuff, but just not enough like to see like a future here permanently. So yeah, but that is pretty much all I have from the last episode. So episode 4, titled I Spy. Let's go. The Red-Faced Men. Or is this the Red Man group? Is that what this is? The Blue Man group's rivals? Oh, making eye contact. And they're handcuffed to their briefcases. What is going on here? What is this, telepathy? No. Oh, crap. Diamonds. Diamonds. Is she in the smuggling business? Very neat. Figured that would happen. It was that kind of shot.
Why'd she close her eyes? That's either random or totally important. Was she listening? Or was she reading minds?
Maybe she was controlling minds. Because she closed her eyes and then they just bashed out the lights.
Instagram.
Social media. Again, social media stars.
That's the thief. Her name's
You can
Akela
tell.
Amador.
You're certain?
Akela.
I should be. I trained her.
Ah, former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent. She had a store in that?
In the bag. You can carry it through customs. No one will know.
Damn. Wow, that is
It's your turn.
creative.
You broke protocol because you need a bathroom break.
It was a really, really long drive and everyone's nervous.
There's a container at the bottom of the blue chest.
Hey, when emergency calls, you gotta answer the phone. A bottle?
That's the one.
Oh, she's my angel.
Your angel?
Why do you say that?
She has gift, knows things.
Ah,
She told me to go to doctor.
that kind of angel.
He found a tumor.
That looks a bit like our vibe.
Don't tell me that's a live feed. That's a live feed.
What are we looking at?
That's a live feed. Oh god, it's a live feed. Yeah, they can tell you can see them when you're doing that. They can tell you can see them. Oh, Jesus. And it's Amador. Oh, crap.
Okay.
Oh, not the kind of bang you want. Not the kind of bang you want. Ugh, that went well. Creepy, but wow.
How are we seeing this? Where's the camera?
Is it in her eyes?
It's her
There's a-
eye. She's the killer.
There's a camera in her eye. Oh, Jesus. She a cyborg?
Scatter when she closes her eyes.
You want to risk our lives again?
You told me you were ready for combat, that you had my back.
I think Coulson's right in this case.
But you are
If she did want them dead, then she would have had no issues killing them as a whole.
With all due respect, sir.
Why does she have to ask for permission?
Can I sleep? Stand by.
She's not being watched. She's
being controlled. Someone else is giving her the orders.
We'll take shifts
Yeah,
watching
so
the
they
feeds.
see
Later,
what
she'll
she
get
does
something
through her own
on
eyes.
location.
So she's communicating with them.
Take the first watch.
But who's she getting her orders from?
Wake the others.
Oh, is May going after her? May's going after her.
I'll bring you into Shield. You'll
So
get
it's only video playing through it, right? There's no audio being recorded, like connected to her ears or something.
No idea, do you?
We know that you received.
That's a smart play, not looking directly at her.
Only one of us gets to walk out of here.
Uh,
Built in a failsafe. Either I kill you, or they kill me.
oh crap, and now she's gonna get that order. Yep. Now that order's gonna come flying through.
You should have stayed in bed.
Damn. How highly trained is she in combat? Seems very highly so far. Oh crap. Oh Jesus. But she has sonar, it seems. Or some level of night vision. Did the 90-night gun work? Did the 90-night gun work?
Hello.
It worked. It worked. Okay, that's good.
I get messages from my handler.
We're receiving those as well. My agent's on his way to the Todorov building.
So everything they have is being relayed to control it. Keep her employees off her scent.
Don't look at me. They need to think
Oh,
you're her.
jeez.
And
Yeah,
tell
and
me
fast
what
movements won't be
else
like
is
her either, unless she's engaging with enemy.
I didn't. I just tried to ignore them. But when I did, I get this pain. Like an electric migraine.
The failsafe.
Yeah,
Putting it
a warning before they actually pull the trigger.
when I think about my years.
They're actually gonna do this surgery.
In the operation.
They're actually gonna do this surgery.
Inject a local anesthetic into your eye rather than putting you under.
Whatever's necessary.
I could honestly never do this. Is this any similar to laser surgery? Because I know they shoot a laser into your eye and take something out.
Let me.
Oh, she's just gonna. Oh, jeez, Louise, you lemon squeezy. Oh. Oh god, that cannot feel comfortable.
What do they mean target?
I suppose she's strong. She's strong.
Target. I'll finish. Whatever it takes.
Whatever it takes. Sid. Seduce him. Jesus.
Sorry, did you say help? Because a minute ago you said you didn't want or need my help.
Before they asked me to go all Mata Hari on this guy.
Oh god. The pleasure of pretending to be Akela, huh?
Wait.
Het is nice, kakette. Yeah? Yeah?
No? Oh crap, okay. Yeah. Sorry, Mr. Employer Man, seduction wasn't an option. Mission complete. Good luck.
It's mostly out.
Mostly?
Nothing.
How do you mostly take an eye out?
But Dr. Fitzy needs to step in now. This.
Oh damn, oh damn, oh damn, he's a good sharp shot, isn't he?
What?
Oh no.
Cut the wires
Oh
now.
no. No. Oh, he's seen you. He's seen you.
Ward, explain the sitch.
Whoa. Also, the eye itself blows up then. That's great. That's great. Whoa. Surely jumping on top of the car would have been a better option. Just jump, tuck, and roll, and then maybe grab onto one of the windows.
As soon as he I think I got him.
Yeah, he looks suspicious enough.
I'm with S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh God.
Oh, it's him. Wait, what? Wait, what?
You'll get a fair trial. I plan on testifying. I know people. You deserve a second chance.
You already gave me.
He knows good lawyers.
Doesn't matter how it plays out from here.
What's wrong with Agent Coulson, or just Coulson?
Nothing, I guess.
Or
He's
boss.
just way cooler. Because you are cool.
She really had to make that pun, huh?
Made that call.
Fitz finally got his snacks. Yeah. Oh, they're playing cards? They're playing poker? They're playing poker, yeah.
If I watch you carefully.
Oh, sorry. Hang on. You know if I do this, that not only will I see Ward's cards, but I'll see you without any clothes on.
I thought you went.
Oh, damn. Oh, Skye, you cheeky little nugget. And now she's checking out a ward. Really? Fair to say she likes what she sees. And that is the end of that particular episode, ladies and gentlemen, and otherwise. Yeah, different camera now, as you can probably tell, so it's a different kind of method for me to record. But yeah, it's still there. I was paranoid the entire episode, like the entire time watching it. I was just paranoid that like first time recording again with this camera, and then that happens, and oh, it's just a whole nightmare. It's a whole nightmare. But yeah, interesting episode. So we had the former protege of Phil Coulson, Akela Amador, who was lost during a mission where her whole team died, and then she was captured by another organization and then made to do their bidding through a camera in her eye. So she never directly met any of her any of her employers or any of her commanders, but she was just given messages, and you know, anytime she tried to resist, she was given a little tingle in her eye. So I feel like those tingles were definitely warning shots. Like, you know, you have a limited number of strikes. If you keep resisting, we will pull the plug, and there you go. It's a very dry snap. I don't know why. That's a bit better. But either way, but yeah, so it wasn't, I don't think it was necessarily telepathy. I mean, at the beginning, I think the things with the red marks, I don't know if they actually explained that, or if I was just like, if in the midst of my paranoia I just lost information, like it went through here and then out here. But I don't remember them ever having explained that, but she was working with them to commit various crimes like murder and like the bank heists and the diamond thefts and all that stuff. So yeah, so she was a former S.H.I.E.L.D. agent, somewhat like Skye, like, you know, intelligent and smart and had brain power, and I don't know what other traits Coulson himself actually mentioned, but she also had the same kind of introductory traits as Skye, like didn't really work well as part of the team. Well, Well, I think that was like actually he did say that they couldn't be more different, so that those traits were more exclusive to Akela as a whole. But she didn't really work well as part of a team. She didn't really understand the whole team dynamic thing, and then she went under and they lost her. So like she's been under their control for years, because she knows that if she tries to resist, then things will end up very, very badly for her. Like she will lose her life potentially, but you know she she has essentially no choice. And then she at the end of the day she just sends them a message asking if she can actually sleep, and like then goes dormant before her next mission calls her up again. So that's that. But I wonder if in this program, because she said even her handler was under the same trap because his eye like just blew up in his own thing as well. So I wonder if like the way this program works is that there are very few official like employers, let's just say, for lack of a better term, but then even they have smaller puppets pretending to be employers and actually get smaller puppets like people being controlled whilst giving other people orders. So like Akela's handler was also like her. He was forced into giving her orders, but then maybe on the off chance he had his own missions as well, and then he had a controller of his own with the same eye thing who had a controller of their own. Like maybe it's like an ongoing loop where you get far enough, you then find the people controlling all of this, and maybe even they like have their like something going on, just to make sure that everything is staying under their control. But that is a very, very torturous sounding system. She said she was kept in a cave for ages before they finally let her out. She saw the light of day again, but then once she did, she realized that her sight wasn't exactly hers to control. Like nothing about her was hers to control anymore. She was working for another person who would happily kill her if she actually went against any of their orders. So it's very much kind of Winter Soldiery in a sense. Like she had no. I mean, she was able to think freely. I'd like to say, but at the same time, she wasn't able to do or say or go freely anywhere. Like she like everything, like every move she made, she had to like all of her moves and all of her steps were controlled and made by the people watching the world through her eyes and all the people that she was doing the bidding for. But she did very much become their own little personal soldier / assassin, like doing what they wanted, like seducing people, like assaulting people, killing people, smuggling whatever across wherever. So she was very much like a criminal for like almost for hire, I think. But still meeting up with other contacts that they ordered her to meet up with and actually handing everything over. So it sounds like a crazy ride. But yeah, I think it like kind of I think it was a nice dynamic to go with, that she was like a former a former agent under training from Coulson, and I think back then she probably knew a different Coulson as well, because she even asked him why he was doing this and like why he was helping her. So it makes me think that like maybe back then when he was training people for the first time even, he had a very, very different approach to it. He had maybe a much more like commanding and toughened approach to it. Like he did everything like a drill sergeant and took no chances with people and maybe punished them. But I think it could also be factored into the fact that she has spent years under people who don't do second chances. They give warnings, but if you mess up, then you mess up. Like if you resist, then they give you warnings. But if you actively mess up and refuse to turn back, then they do just off you and just use the next one in the loop and like just work that way. But with Coulson, like she very much is surprised that she's actually receiving a second chance, let alone being given one by him. And he also said, like he's not that kind of person anymore. He knows that there is still good in her, that she can still do the right thing. but she did just need a little bit more help to actually go down that path. But he did say that she would. I think she still is in prison for everything that she did. But he did say that he'd testify for her, and actually make sure that she's been given a fair trial for everything she did. So yeah, and I think it can't really be used against her that she wasn't doing this of her own accord, but she wasn't doing this because she wanted to, but she was doing it because if she didn't, then she would have died. So her sacrificing her life as much as she lived to become an agent, like ideally for her employers, they would want her alive, regardless of how many how many camera people they've got working for them. And chances are they could just as easily recruit more and more every day. But I think the handler she had, I don't think he was like a field guy. I think they probably have handlers like in that guy's position where they just work behind a desk watching the person's moves and actually relaying the orders from there to there, from back to front, from the top to the bottom. And actually like handlers make did different people, different recruits for different situations. So some for the field, some for the desk duties, some for the labs, maybe developing more cameras for them, developing weapons or whatever. So I feel like it's a very kind of swift and clean organization in that sense, that they have someone for every job and people under their control for every possible task. And she did say that they were clean, they were quick, they were organized, and all of that stuff. So possibly not Hydra, but just something smaller, but still effective in actually getting the job done and getting their job done as well. But yeah, we also have the Night gun, which is filled with dendrotoxin. My handwriting is rubbish for one thing, but for another thing, they only mention the name like twice, and I think it's like dendrotoxin or something along those lines. But it's a trank gun. That's as much as I know. It's a powerful trank gun. So yeah, but that was an interesting piece of Coulson's history to actually explore, and I think we've gotten some of that before. I think episode 2 in S1E4 we got some of his history with Camilla, and now we have some of his history with S.H.I.E.L.D. And I think in Captain Marvel we actually explored, we heard what like Fury's history was like he dropped out of high school and he went straight into the army, and then he rose to the ranks through there and then joined S.H.I.E.L.D. So I wonder if the same thing happened for Coulson as well. Like he actually started off in the army at like a youngish age, and then worked his way up the ranks and worked in different kind of law enforcement and some like military roles, and then eventually found his way into S.H.I.E.L.D. like under Nick Fury. But I guess we will hear more about that in future episodes. But this was a great episode to explore more of him in, and a great episode to see a piece of his past in. And again, I think team dynamics, there wasn't really much. I mean, everyone worked well together, but there wasn't any particularly new kind of revelations. But Skye getting some alone time in her van, that makes sense as well. Like she's still kind of into the whole isolation thing. Like she doesn't really have much to do. But like besides from training with Ward and maybe some like new development tech with Fitzsimmons, she doesn't really have much to do with the rest of the team unless a new mission pops up, and then they all have to work together to take down the bits and pieces and solve the whole case. But this was still fun to see. This was still pretty fun to see. But yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I think, right? I don't really know what else there was to talk about. Well, Ward trying to seduce a guy was pretty hilarious to see. Talking about like having spent a night with multiple girls, and the security guards couldn't relate to that at all. So maybe he was working overnights. Maybe he's working night shifts and whatnot. So he can't really go home to a girlfriend or to anyone really. So maybe in his mind he was just maybe in his mind he was thinking like, you dick, I work night shifts here. You think I know what it's like to be with someone? Screw you. But yeah, this was a great episode. So looking forward to the next one, especially. But yeah, the paranoia is still in my head. The paranoia is still in my head of like of that having happened like today of all days. But yeah, that is pretty much all I have from this episode. So that was Agents of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Season 1, Episode 4, titled I Spy. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you guys enjoyed it, then salt and burn that like button. Comment on what you thought of the episode and what you think is coming up next for our Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And yeah, that's it. So, I will see you guys next time.